Well, good evening, everybody. This is your girl, Aisha, also known as Jade, one of the co-hosts of tonight's show, Chit Chat Chew Show.
And this your other co-host, Uno, of Chit Chat Chew Show.
So tonight, we have the terrific Tara Glenn, who's going to let us know a little bit about herself personally, as well as her business, what made her want to pursue her different avenues of businesses. And we're just going to get right into it. I mean, we're really excited about this evening, and we hope that you guys are too. So if you are streaming with us live, because she's going to be interviewed via phone, but you can stream live with us by downloading the app Audio, AWDIO, and as well as our LGBTQ friendly communities. You can stream us live at www.gaytvatl.com.
And what else do I need to inform them on, Jay? I think we done said everything, right? Well, I guess we could give them the... You know what? There's one thing I do want to mention before Tara Glenn calls in, actually. Wait a second. Multitasking, y'all.
So I hope while she's tasking over here that everybody so far has had a enjoyable Monday. I just want to give a quick moment of silence. On yesterday, we walked into a homeless man, and he was actually laying down at a bus stop on North Ave, and we found out that he was dead. And so I don't know what his name is. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to give a moment of silence to him, hoping that he's going to be resting in a better place and transitioning. So I just wanted to give a few moments of silence for that.
Yeah, that was messed up just to see that. And it's like everyone was passing by in their cars, and there's people walk by and no one said nothing or even helped the man. He was just laying there. I mean, I guess you gotta look at the fact that people don't care, and so
society is just
they so wrapped up in their lives, it's not their concern.
Exactly, unless it was happening, unless it was happening to them or somebody close in their family. I mean, really, they probably stepped over the man and paid him no attention and was like, oh, look at this homeless man or look at this bum. People can be really mean and cruel.
Uh-oh, we gotta call him. Caller, you're live on the air.
Hey, y'all, it's Tara.
Hi, Tara. How are you? I'm so...
How are you?
All right. We just want to make sure. Can you hear us clearly?
Yes, I can.
Good. So, for all the callers that are listening in, we have our guest on live. Her name is Tara Glenn. And so we're going to just kind of jump into it. We really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. And so we would like for you to start off by introducing yourself and your business to our listeners.
Okay, well, I'm Tara, and I've been working in the public affairs field for about 5 years now. I went into the military as an AO, which initially I learned how to build bombs. But when I got to my duty station, there was no aviation there. So because I had photography experience, they threw me in the public affairs office to work with those people. So I ended up going to a lot of cool events and concerts and helping with press releases and that sort of thing. And eventually, last year I got out of the Navy because I was really sick, and they sent me on my way.
Mm-hmm.
But once we got to Georgia, where my husband's stationed now, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I looked around here for jobs, and there was nothing. So I ended up, on a whim, applying to a like remote job to do social media stuff, and I got it. And ever since then, I've been writing articles and working with people's social media and helping people with their blogs and all kinds of stuff online, which is awesome.
Yeah. So what did I want to say? That whole bomb thing, that just sounds so that's exciting. Yes, that sounds really interesting. Yes. So how long did you serve?
I served for 5 years.
Okay.
And that was in the Navy?
Yes, Navy.
Okay. Cool. Now, so tell me, I know you specialize in writing, photography, marketing, and social media management, but can you tell me, like, which is more your passion, or is it equal? And if so, why?
Well, the photography and the writing is mostly my passion because they fit so well together. You know, when you're writing a story, you know, you can, if you describe it well enough, people, you know, get that image in their head. But when you put the pictures next to it, it just makes everything you're trying to say a lot more clear. And I love that. I like telling a story with photos, too. But sometimes it's like, it's really hard to get your point across without adding words to it.
Right, because you really got a time far as capturing the moment to tell your story.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's definitely all about the timing.
Yes.
So how do you juggle your businesses?
Well,
as far as like, you know, having a husband, a family.
It is controlled chaos. It's a lot like still being in the fact that I am constantly doing something. Every single day, every moment that I'm awake, I'm constantly either working on something for work or I'm with my kids, you know, helping them, especially the younger ones, because we have a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and then we have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. So it is literally chaos at my house at all times. It is awesome, but exhausting.
Oh, I'm sure. You definitely have your hands full, and then, you know, you have to have, you know, husband and wife time as well. So how does that go?
Until recently, we had a long streak of not being able to go out on a date. Up until I'd say, it was December, because we went to my husband's Christmas party, and that was our first date by ourselves in 2 years.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
I went all out, and I rented a dress from, like, Rent the Runway.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, if you're going to make me go to this, you know, Christmas party with your coworkers, I'm going to look fabulous.
And that you did, because if our listeners are if you're listening, Tara definitely, she looks so pretty. I loved it. I really did. You looked fabulous.
I had, like, glitter from head to toe. It was awesome. And this little girl was there, and she was 3, and she thought I was an actual princess.
Oh, that is so sweet. Yes, that is so sweet. I love it. And like you said, your husband, he's still active.
Yes, he's still in the Navy.
Okay, and does he have to, you know, travel sometimes, or is it, you know, just stationed right where you're at?
Well, right now he's on shore duty, and so he still travels a little bit, but not as much as if he was on sea duty.
Okay.
And we've been in Albany now for 3 years, which is kind of unheard of to be here that long.
Right.
And we leave here in March of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, and when we move to our next station, I'll be staying here till the end of the school year, since, like, they usually get out in May. So I was like, I can kick it here for, like, a month or two. It's okay. But he'll go to our next duty station without us initially.
Okay.
He'll get everything set up and start house hunting and that sort of thing while we're still here in Georgia.
Okay.
But we don't know where he's going yet.
Oh, wow, the element of surprise.
Right.
Yes, Yes, we'll find out in July. So.
Okay then. All right. Um.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, when you're married to someone in the military, you never ever know what to expect. We had a guy check in here, and he was a chief, which means he was E7 on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And he was here for 6 months, and then he was 6 months in the 2-year orders, and then he gets orders to Key West.
Oh wow.
And he was gone before his whole year was up here.
Wow.
It was crazy.
So I mean, because it does due to a lot of traveling. You have to travel all over, being in the service. So with that being said, like, what are some places that you have traveled to?
I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Guam. I've been to Florida, all up and down the East Coast, which is awesome. I've been as far as Texas. And my husband, he's the lucky one. He's been to Australia. He's been all around the Pacific Rim, which is all the Pacific countries. He's been to Thailand.
Oh man,
he's got some really cool places.
Yeah, sound cool, especially Hawaii. Like, I've been to Florida. I haven't been to Hawaii, but I heard it's definitely beautiful there.
Oh, it is gorgeous.
Yes, me and my lady gonna have to take a trip to Hawaii one day.
Yes, and definitely Thailand. I've wanted to go.
Really, really cool too, because even in the summertime, when you go up into the mountains, it's chilly up in the mountains.
Oh wow!
And in the wintertime, it'll snow there. But you go down into Kona, which is a short drive away, and it's like 80 degrees.
Wow, yeah. So it's like, depending on the geographical area you're in, the weather does change. It just depends.
Yes.
That's good. That's
my husband also, he went to Japan too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
You think about Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Another place we want to go. That's a bucket list.
Yes. That bucket list: Japan, Hawaii, and Thailand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How was Guam?
Guam is very, very tiny. There's not a lot to do there, but I'm a beach bum, so I was good. I just kind of like chilled.
So it was basically heaven for you, as long as you had the beach and you got the sun and you got the nature.
That's right.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. You got to get into it with nature. That's the best thing.
Yeah, I took a lot of books with me to Guam, and I mean, I was only there for a couple weeks. We were just visiting. And we took the opportunity when we were in Hawaii to go. And so I just took some reading material and, just hung out. It was great.
That's what's up.
The only downside when you go to places like Guam and, like, when my husband, he went to Cuba, and even Japan, when you're on base, you get, like, the crappiest internet in the whole world. It's so slow.
Wow. So they say their reception to the internet is not good at all if you go over there.
No.
Oh,
his work computer in Guam, the work computers were really fast. They had, like, fiber optic and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the stuff that they wired, the housing and the barracks where the guys lived, it was slow. It was the crappy stuff.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have nothing to do, and then your only way of, occupying yourself is the internet. You can't even access that.
Yeah, he couldn't play Xbox games that were online. We would Skype, and he would just be like this big blob on the screen.
Wow. Well, that sucks. That's the only downside if we go there.
Yeah. Well, if you go to Hawaii, you should be good. And I know, like, the internet in Japan that, the regular people that aren't on the military base have is really fast. So you should be good there.
Okay, that's a good thing then.
Cool. So I also wanted to ask you, Tara, what inspired you to work in the industries that you work in? I mean, because I know that you blog and, virtual assistant, I know that you do a variety of different things. So what inspired you? You may have said it, but what inspired you to want to just pursue all these different avenues that you're doing currently right now?
Well, I've been taking photos ever since I was little. I had my first camera when I was 8, and my mom would yell at me and refuse to buy me film because I would take pictures of random people.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know them. I would just take pictures of them.
Oh, okay.
It kind of just grew from there, and as I got older, especially now, with this huge family of ours, we weren't making it on, my husband at the time, he was an E5, and he was a petty officer second class. And I wasn't able to work a regular job because I was, sick all the time. Like, I was just really, really tired, and I couldn't, I didn't have the strength to go to an actual job.
Right.
And so it was, what can I do? What am I good at that I can do at home? And so that's what really, really made me explore what I could do from home to help make money to, keep my boys in private school.
Right.
So and basically, that's the biggest motivating force I have is their school, because the schools here are crappy, but we send them to a private school. So, they have, my oldest son, he wants to be a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't send him to a school that, he's learning the same thing he learned 2 years ago at his old school.
Right.
So.
And so how do your children, do they interact with you with, the businesses that you have, especially like the photography?
Oh, yeah. My oldest, he is going to be taking pictures that, for my clients. And he's going to set them to music and make a video for them, for my new clients that I'll be taking pictures of this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And, I saw, he made these beautiful videos for one of his class projects. And he's like, Mom, I'd love to do this, if your clients would like this. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. It's something, it's a project for him to do that will keep him busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I was like, I'll pay you $10 for every video you make.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Yeah. And just the video that he put together at 13, it really impressed me because, even with the music, he set it to, have the same tone as the pictures. It was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what makes it even better. It's good having a visual too, but then adding the music to it, to really bring out that emotion in the
exactly
just in the whole thing. Period, is awesome
and
itself.
And it's so cool to see, your 13-year-old son just, get that, take to it so quickly. But they're both of my sons are little entrepreneurs, I swear. My older one, he also cuts grass in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And the younger one, he made bookmarks and he sells them for $1.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's creative. Yes.
He got a little hustle.
Entrepreneur in the making.
It was awesome. I love seeing it rub off on them.
That's good.
Nothing wrong with that. So, now you've worked in the public affairs field for 5 years plus.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
why did you want to be involved in that field? What was your purpose?
Well, it was honestly, when I first got into it, it was something for me to do within the Navy. Since my command didn't have airplanes at their disposal for me to, play with and arms, basically. There wasn't really anything else for me to do, and I'm just like, well, I did go to photography school, and they're like, oh, really? And so initially it was just, something for me to do, and I got to work with the other public affairs officers in the Navy and just see what they do every day. And it was awesome. They would go to these events and they would take photos and do press releases, and they would write, the base newsletters and stuff like that. And it was just really cool to be involved on that level with the base.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And now I also work at a zoo, and I run the membership program. But as a part of that, I work still in basically their public affairs office.
Oh, okay.
And so I get to help, coordinate a lot of the events, or my boss Morgan, if she's running something, she will have me come in and help her with it sometimes. And so it's cool to just be able to walk right in, already automatically know pretty much what to do and, you know, where to go with whatever task she assigns me. It's awesome.
Now, is that something that's more, I guess, a home base, or are you able to go to the physical location?
The zoo, it's a little 50-50. It's just across town. It's a little zoo here in Albany called Cheehaw.
Mm-hmm.
And I take a lot of my work home and finish it, but I spend just as much time at the park, too. And it's nice because I can take the kids over there, and they can, you know, run around on the playground while I work. I mean, they have a blast.
Oh, wow. And you get a chance to see the animals.
Yes, the animals.
Love
the
the
animals.
Love the animals. Yes.
Yes. It is, like, we just had a little monkey that was born via C-section a few weeks ago.
Oh.
And they put out photos and everything, and it was just so cute.
Oh. He's a booger.
That's awesome. And so are there any other positions? I mean, I know, but for the listeners, what other what else do you have under your belt besides the photography and the virtual assistants and what you're doing for the zoo? What else do you do?
I would say the most interesting thing that I do is ghostwriting.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because when you ghostwrite for people, like I ghostwrite a lot of blog articles, and basically that means I don't get the byline, they don't mention my name at all in the article. So if I would write a blog for my client, it would have my client's name technically instead of mine that wrote it.
Okay.
And I do it a lot for my clients because they need blogs, but they don't have time to write their own blogs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so it kind of keeps things moving along, you know, for their business to talk about, you know, topics that pertain to whatever they do.
Right, because it can be time consuming.
Exactly. And another thing I do a lot of is editing too. For the people who they want blogs on their site, but they're not very strong writers,
Mm-hmm.
they'll have me edit their blogs to make them better.
Okay.
And that's typically for the people who they don't want to pay to have someone ghostwrite it, or they have a specific, you know, story they want to tell in their blog,
Mm-hmm.
and they know what they want to say. They just need a little help saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really, really interesting to, you know, get to sit down and read things that you would not normally read about, you know, the people that you work with. I've had to edit some really, really personal essays that, you know, they were applying for, like, grants or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to learn things about other people. And you're like, whoa, you're trusting me with this?
Right. Uh-huh. Well, apparently, I mean,
They have the confidence.
they have
in
the
you.
confidence. Yeah, they have the confidence in you.
Confidence and trust. The trust
Right,
is
the
big
confidence
part.
and trust. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
absolutely. It amazes me as a virtual assistant the things that people trust me with. I mean, not that I'm going to go and, like, run out with someone's credit card information or, you know, like, oh, I wrote that, you know. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this is something I would not typically just trust anybody with. And it makes me feel really great to have that bond with, you know, the people that I work with, especially those that they haven't met me in person yet.
Right.
Right.
And 90% of my clients have not met me in person. Like, we have never sat down, you know, in the same room together.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so for you to be able to have that bond and trust with someone that you have never sat in the same room with is amazing.
That is. Now, do you only just ghostwrite and edit for blogs, or do you do it for people who want to write a book?
I haven't edited an entire book yet. I've edited chapters for people,
Mm.
but I haven't sat down and edited an entire book yet. And
Is that something you're
typically it's
open
just
to?
because I don't have the time to
Okay.
dedicate to an entire book.
Mm-hmm.
But if they need help with like a chapter, like, like, does this make sense? That I usually have time for.
Okay.
But for a book, for me to actually edit a whole book, it would have to be a really, really interesting book.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm at the point now where I do turn a lot of work away just because it's not really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I tell people I'm looking for cool jobs only. One of the coolest jobs I just got, it's not editing, it's working with a podcast.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll be sending out cease and desist letters for them. We're building a list of people that are infringing on their trademark.
Mm-hmm.
And so soon we're going to go out and send all these letters, to tell people to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But, that's something that's interesting to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds interesting. So, you were saying that you work with people on blogs, and clients as well, but is there a particular blog that you like helping them do? Like, is there a favorite out of all the clients or people that you dealt with helping them do their blogs? Is there a specific one that you're into, like maybe something political, or I guess maybe health wise or entertainment? Is there any favorite blogs that you liked?
Well, I would have to say, out of all the clients I have, I've been doing editing for my one client, Melissa Erb, Herb, for anyone who wants to look her up.
Hey, Melissa Herb.
She's awesome, and
She really is.
A transformational health and wellness coach.
Okay.
And her blog, she writes a lot about, being positive about your body and yourself. And I have to say that's my favorite, one to edit, because I've been working with her the longest out of all of my writing clients. And so I really know her tone and her style, and it's just the easiest one to do right now.
Okay.
But, I mean, I've been blessed with being able to write pretty much about any topic.
Mm-hmm.
And I edited one for Chiha recently about doing enrichment with the animals at the zoo, and that one was really fun to edit too, because I got to learn a lot that I didn't know yet about how they work with the animals and how they introduce toys to them to play with.
Mm-hmm.
So when that one goes live, I'll send it to you guys, because it's a really cool blog, and they're gonna add some pictures in it of the animals playing with their toys.
Oh yeah, definitely send that out.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to watch that.
Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yeah, I love the animals. I like them.
Me too. But,
So-
as far as it goes, I mean, I tell people cool jobs only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because you want to be involved in something that you like doing. You don't want to do something just to do it, then you're not getting no fulfillment out of it.
Exactly. I worked with this one lady, I'd say a few months ago, and I was at a point where I really needed the money, but we didn't click at all, not one bit. And I ignored my inner self, because I needed the money. I'm like, well, I need it, and she has it, so let's go get it.
Right.
But it didn't work out well. I wasn't interested in what she was doing with her business enough to get really motivated and, actually look forward to working. And it really taught me an important lesson that even if you need the money, you need to be doing something that you love, because otherwise you're only going to put half in, and then, you're only going to get half out.
Right, and you're not going to be happy.
Exactly.
You're not doing what
you start dreading.
Right, and you're not doing what you should for yourself. So
Exactly.
I agree with you. That's definitely key. People, more people in the world should pursue what they love. That's gonna make them happy inside. Like they get, like I said, fulfillment. Like that's something they enjoy doing.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to find out, Tara, what's I guess kind of what you said is kind of leading into the question I was going to ask you. What do you feel has been your biggest professional challenge, and how were you able to conquer it or deal with it?
What was that?
What has been your biggest professional challenge, like, with what you're doing, your business? What has been like the biggest challenge, like as far as, I guess, working with clients, because sometimes there's bad apples in the bunch,
Yeah.
and so how were you able, I mean, I know you touched on it just a few minutes ago really briefly, but how were you able to, to deal with it?
Well, I said it's a good one because I spent 5 years in the Navy. And if you ever spent like 5 minutes around someone in the military, they usually, not all the time, but usually they have a really bad potty mouth. And so the hardest thing for me going from the military into the civilian sector was getting rid of all the swearing. It's no longer acceptable to, drop the F-bomb when a client pisses me off to their face. Like, I can't do that. I can do that in the Navy, but I can't do that if I want to make money with my clients.
Right.
Right.
So,
you don't want to shy away your
learning
clients.
how to voice my displeasure at whatever they were doing with their business that wasn't profitable or was setting them back without being a jerk. And I still struggle with it sometimes because, sometimes when you're running a business, you don't see what other people see from the outside. And so when you have someone else come in and tell you, what you don't want to hear, it can be really hard to take it. And
True.
so it's just taking that and just being kind with it is sometimes hard, but it's worth being kind over because, at least at the end of the day, I'm not like looking at myself in the mirror saying, you know what, you were a big jerk for what you said to Melissa.
That's true.
But I'm only mentioning Melissa because we mentioned her earlier. I don't yell at Melissa. She does pretty good.
Well, that's good because, like you said, in business and with, just us being in business for the short amount of time that we have, I mean, you do come into people who are different. I'll just say it like that.
Very different. Very different.
Well,
And
if you think about it, every person that you meet, they're raised with a different set of values or, beliefs than you are. Even though my next door neighbor and I, we have a lot in common, she was raised in Texas and I was raised in Pennsylvania. So, we do a lot of the same things, but we do them differently.
All right.
And the biggest thing that I had to learn in life was it's okay to be different. You can do things your own way, but when you see someone else doing it a different way, it doesn't make it wrong.
Right.
And that's really hard to learn. It's okay for other people to be different.
Because, everybody's not going to vibe. Like, that's just the way it is.
Exactly.
That's very true. So with you being a virtual assistant, I'm still learning what this whole VA is about. I know I've, been communicating, back and forth with you. But for our listeners, what do virtual assistants, what is the duties that you guys do?
It can vary from person to person. A lot of the time, I do a lot of social media scheduling for different clients, and with that, I just set up, the statuses and photos and like sales type posts to go out on their social media to interact with their customers. And then on the flip side of that, I go in and if there's comments on their stuff, I'll respond to them or their messages. A lot of my clients, I check their email for them and forward it to, their account if it's important, or I answer the question if it's something I already know the answer to. Aside from that, I do a lot of, data entry into, databases. for their clients, with their names and their phone numbers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
A lot of it, sometimes it's just as simple as they'll send me a document with their blog post and they'll say, hey, can you edit this and post this on my blog for me because I don't want to deal with it.
Mhm.
So it's varied work. You'll see there's different virtual assistants that specialize in different things. You have some that are just amazing at like graphics and website design, and that's not my deal at all.
Right.
I do a little bit of graphic work, but this website is just, I have no interest in building a website.
Mhm.
But there's some out there that they'll maintain your website for you, which is awesome.
Mhm. Oh, okay. And with that help from the virtual assistants, does that increase the chance of that business owner or that individual to make money off of it? Because I hear and I see on Facebook and social media that people can like clients can, like ourselves, can make money off of blogging and
Absolutely.
Mhm. Okay.
One thing that I've been pushing my clients to get into is affiliate marketing. Like, it's as simple as opening up an Amazon affiliate account, and you can create links for any product that's on Amazon. And when your followers click that link, you get money for it when they actually buy it.
Okay.
So,
okay.
They do a lot of that. Another thing is, if they're not spending time, blogging or uploading their blogs, because, especially with WordPress, there's a lot of SEO that goes into making a blog post, so then it reaches more people on Google whenever they Google for stuff. If they're not messing with that, then what else could they be doing in their free time?
Right.
Yeah, true.
So, you're freeing up this huge amount of time for them because they don't have to worry about posting anything on social media. They can just say, okay, well, I got a post a day going out. That's pretty good for a business channel.
Mhm.
And if they don't have to worry about their comments and their email for the most part, that's pretty freeing as a business owner.
That's very true. Yes, because I know with us, we're new, but we are growing, and we're seeing that like emails are backing up, and we're both like, we work outside of our business
And trying to maintain our business that we have ourselves. So
exactly.
it's a juggle.
It is, as well as, have time for ourselves outside of it, just to, like you said, have downtime and have a date night and, do little things like that. So it takes, of course, a lot of work. I know that it does become very fulfilling and rewarding, but, sometimes we need that little free time.
Yes, we do. Yes, we need downtime.
I went to Pensacola over the summer for a week. Well, it was more like 10 days with my family. And I was working from Pensacola, but the thing I had going was I was working 1 hour a day, and that's it. Other than that hour, we were in a location that I didn't get great service, from where we were staying. And so I wasn't really on Facebook at all or any social media aside from my 1 hour a day that I worked. And it was just so great to, take that time and, really spend it and connect with my kids and my family without worrying about, like, oh, did I remember to do this and that? I would make my list of, I have a notebook, and I make a list every night of what I have to do the next day. And I write it down, sometimes as I remember it. But I would just, go and check off every box as best as I could every day. And the rest of the time I just spent it with them, and it was so great just to have that time.
Absolutely.
And if you ever get a VA, I recommend taking, after, you get into a groove with that VA and you really trust them, take some time to just be you and take advantage of the fact that you're not, responding to comments and emails.
Oh, yes, 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 because we've done more responding and our share of, since we've been in business, like, we have our personal hats on, but it's different when you have your business hat on and you're trying to keep the two separate and, just responding, when you put it out there, like, I'm open to suggestions or I'm looking for this particular thing for the business, and then all of a sudden you're swarmed with a lot of inbox messages and you're like, well, wait a minute, and then it can become overwhelming. Yeah, because I'll be the first to admit our emails, forget about it. It's just
it's too many.
It's
way
so many, and it's like, okay, we're
Forget
gonna need to.
And they never stop.
It doesn't.
They never stop. Like, I'll be laying in bed, and like for my cell phone, I have every single like notification, text notification, comment, everything off, like all the time. I do not even like Facebook notifications. They're all turned off on my phone because if I turn them on, it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning, and my cell phone will be like quacking at me like a duck, like, "Hey, hey, I'm here." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, shut up!" Like, but I work with people like over in the UK. Sometimes I worked with a lawyer over there for a period of time. She's on maternity leave right now, but. It's really with the global economy these days. The world it feels so much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's not weird for your phone to be ringing at 3 o'clock in the morning.
No.
Absolutely.
So I'm not answering it at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
She like, I ain't got time. It's too early in the morning. I'm trying to sleep.
Like, my family knows if it's an emergency and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you better call my husband's phone because I'm not answering mine.
Right. I understand. Right.
So
I hope they got his number.
So I was actually checking out your website, TaraGlenn.com, and I was looking at your photography. I actually like your photography work. I see a lot of it is vibrant, lively, very real, authentic. Really, it stands out. But because I see you focus more on the people or objects, and everything else is just pretty much kind of zoomed in the back, like fade in the back. Like, is that a technique that you practice a lot with the doing your photography work?
Well, it is and it isn't. It's mainly because I have kids. I work with a lot of kids and families, and childhood is like the most fascinating time for me. Honestly, I wish I sometimes could go back to like being like 5, like before you went to school, because the world was great before you went to school.
Right.
And so I relive a lot of that in, watching my own children grow up. And when I take pictures of them or other children, I want them to be as colorful and vibrant as possible because childhood is very loud.
Yes, and your pictures are loud too. They definitely stand out.
Yes.
You definitely capture those moments.
To focus more on the subject than, what's in the background because, the subject in the photo is the most important aspect of the photo.
Right.
And it's just...
How about the lighting?
What's that?
The lighting. You practice with that as well, like getting that right shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, because lighting plays a big part in having great photos.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the funniest things I've ever heard was I was actually working with a different photographer, and they were taking pictures of me, and I was really concerned because I had like this huge zit on the side of my face, and like cover-up would not even like do it any justice.
Right.
And she took this picture of me, and it wasn't horrible, and you couldn't really see the pimple at all. Like, it was just a tiny little blemish on it.
Right.
And she's like, you'd be surprised what I can cover up with lighting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And,
a lot of manipulation and transformation with lighting. You can do that.
And my goal as a photographer is to show exactly what I'm seeing. Like, I don't do a lot of black and white work because I want you to see exactly what I saw when I took that photo. Like, down to, like, the colors of the shirt. I want them to match exactly how I saw them.
Right. That's your theme that you vision. Your theme.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't know, because
And
black and white is okay, but, I think it just depends on the photographer. Like, what theme are they trying to go for?
Exactly. Maybe I do some black and white and, like, candids, like, when we're playing together. Sometimes you'll catch me send out a black and white picture, but I would say probably 85% of my work is in color.
Oh, yeah. I'm all about color, so you definitely have some great pictures. Do you have a favorite picture or pictures in your catalog here?
Right now, I don't know if it's in the actual catalog yet. I can't remember if I uploaded it. But we were on a walk a few weeks ago, my kids and I, and we went up this dirt road to go track the deer that live in our woods behind our house. Mm-hmm. Because my daughter, she's 4, and she loves, like, animal tracks.
Uh-huh.
She's very much into, like, the Octonauts and the Paw Patrol, pretty much anything with animals.
Right.
And so I told her, I was like, oh, we'll go look for footprints, like the deer prints. You can see where they go in the dirt.
Right.
So, I was showing that to her and explaining. We get, like, halfway up the road, the dirt road by our house, and my younger daughter, who just turned 2 yesterday, she sits down, and she had this little purse with her, and she's sitting there, and she opens it up, and she pulls out this little Play School coffee pot and starts drinking out of it like she is on her coffee break.
She thinks she grown.
Yeah, I about lost it. I'm like, of course, my instinct, I had my big girl camera with me, as we call it, and I started taking pictures of it because it was so funny. And I'm blowing it up. I'm going to put that on my wall, but that's so far, like right now, that is my current favorite, is just sitting there with her, drinking her coffee.
That's what's up. So, now I heard you say big girl camera. So, is there a particular camera that you use to capture these shots that you like using?
Well, it's just, we have, like my cell phone.
Okay.
And, that's my little girl camera, as my kids call it. And then I have a Canon DSLR.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is my big girl camera. And
yeah.
I'm actually going to upgrade soon. I don't know what I'm going to get yet. I haven't completely decided. I've been back and forth a lot about what style I want. But my kids, they're learning how to use my camera now.
Okay.
The older kids. And that's actually quite fascinating when you see the life, the photography through your kids' eyes.
Yeah, true. Because they have a different perspective.
Exactly. And it's
visually.
It's really cool to see children grow as artists and develop that skill.
Right.
I mean, whether it's your kid or, the kid down the street, it's really cool to see that at work.
Right. Absolutely.
That sounds really awesome. I used to enjoy photography myself when I was in school, and then I don't know, I just kind of course, just I guess through life, just faded away. But it's so awesome, and for me, it really put me in another place. Just being able to take different photos or people or whatever it was. I don't know. It's almost therapeutic for me.
Yeah, it really is. When I was in Pensacola, I worked out of Long Hollow Studio.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Noelle Nichols, she's a photographer in the Pensacola and Mobile, Alabama areas. And she is phenomenal. And she had the studio in Pensacola when I was there. And it had all kinds, like just stocked with like dresses and clothes, like different props, toys, like even like dinosaurs and just all this random stuff. And it was so fun to take my kids in there and take photos of them, especially when my husband was deployed, because it was almost like we were playing pretend, but in front of a camera, if that makes sense.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
And I would let them style their own photo shoots sometimes, to send their dad, like silly pictures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny just to see, the things they were interested in.
Right.
Like we would go prop shopping often in Pensacola, and we ended up buying this like old boat for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big like wooden boat.
Oh, wow.
And we bought it for because my kids thought it'd be like the perfect prop for one of our photo shoots, because my husband, he's in the Navy, and what's the Navy known for? Boats. And we did a precious little newborn photo with my daughter Mia, because she was born while he was deployed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he was very lucky, because even though he wasn't there, he still got a sense of, watching them grow, both as, them and as little artists, because they would help me design the sets.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah, your family is definitely, even though you say it has some chaos, but it's just good to see that you guys can still, come together and bond and be able to do those type of, things or activities together. Because a lot of times, having that type of dynamic, a lot of times families tend to like separate.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really great.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me was when I was younger, one of my best friends that I hung out with a lot, they were, from a larger family. And I wasn't from a larger family at all.
Mm-hmm.
And, they always had something going on. They were always going to a football game or a basketball game, because they all played sports.
Mm-hmm.
And, just seeing that, it was just, and how they interacted with each other is a lot how my family interacts with each other now. And they just, they really set the example of, how a larger family should be for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely, love being a part of a bigger family. People, they see us out, and they're like, how many kids do you have? And, I tell people, oh, just 4. And they're like, just 4? That's it? Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
They think you have more.
If I'm out with my older kids, they think I'm their older sister, which is really great.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel really good about myself then, because, I look, to them, I'm looking like I'm 15. So that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's just, I think it's a lot of fun to be part of a bigger family. Especially when, most families, they have, 2 or 3 kids.
Right.
At least the ones I know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's kind of fun to break out of that mold a little bit and be something a little bigger.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, Tara, what advice would you share, I guess, based on your experience with the listeners and people who are interested in pursuing perhaps similar goals as yourself, or just in general wanting to pursue, their own business? What advice would you share?
The first thing that I find is really important is sitting down and listing all the things that you think you're good at, or you feel confident in doing, and then kind of saying, well, when you're looking at the list, how can I make some of this profitable? I did the same thing when I was out of work, and I couldn't hold down, a normal 9-to-5 job. I just couldn't. And so, I sat down and I made a list of, what I was good at, photography, writing, and then I'm like, well, how can I turn this into supporting my family?
Right.
And don't look at it like, how much money can I make? It's not about the money. It's about helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When I work, I'm helping these business owners run their business and, keep things going, and I help them, get people interested in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's my job. And,
Right.
It's more about helping them than it is, how much money I'm making.
Right.
Right. And a lot of people, need to kind of definitely have that mindset, because I know people, I mean, you want to make money, yes, but
Yeah.
it's not, like you said, just about making the money. It's fulfillment and helping, and helping others.
Exactly. Because, if you're just in it for the money, they're going to see right through you.
Exactly.
Literally,
True.
they will see right through you.
Right. That's very true.
Yesterday I cracked the windshield of my car, and I was, I wasn't really upset about it until I saw the quote for $294.
Oh, wow.
And I just sat down and I'm like, you know what? After a while, I was like, you know what? It's really not that big of a deal, because at least we're in a position where it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I sat down and I said, well, how can I help people so I can fix my window? Like, what can I do that would be helpful to other people so I can serve my own need?
Mm-hmm.
And so I ran a blog special, and I sold a bunch of blogs today to a business owner. She wanted some guest blogs with my name on them, and then she wanted some ghostwritten blogs. And that almost paid for it twice.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So by focusing on how I could help other people by giving them a good deal, I paid for, what I needed 2 times over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And so is that special, or what you're doing? I don't want to say special, but what you're advertising or putting out there, is that something that's still going on, or have you stopped it?
It's still going on.
Okay.
Basically, I'm discounting any blog for $20.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest deal with that is that if you get 4 blogs, they're already at a discounted rate. But then when you subtract $80 more, it's a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that for people within certain Facebook groups.
Okay.
And for people that I know personally. If someone on your radio show comes to me and like, I heard you on the radio, I need some blogs, I would totally extend the deal to them too. So.
Oh, cool. Okay. So you listeners, hope you're listening.
She put it out there.
She put it out there. Tara put it out there.
So please contact her.
Definitely. And we'll definitely let you guys know before Tara leaves this evening how you can contact her.
Reach out.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So now, what advice could you or can you give to aspiring writers or photographers or anyone that's involved in marketing or social media management? Like, what advice can you give?
Well, for the writers and photographers especially, you need to do it every day. Like, if you want to be a writer or you want to be a photographer, you need to take your notebook with you or your camera with you everywhere, because you never ever know when something's going to inspire you and you need to write it down, or when you're going to see something that is just absolutely phenomenal and you need to take a picture of it.
Absolutely.
As for, people that want to get into marketing and social media, just read a lot. Like, you don't need to go to school for it. Taking some classes if you want to get into like hardcore marketing would be great, but definitely read a lot about, how to market on social media, especially because if you don't know the ins and outs of the network that you're wanting to expand and market on, you're not going to be successful. So definitely do your homework, and it will pay off for you.
Absolutely. So it's like you really have to master your craft.
Yeah.
To really be successful. And it has to be very consistent, and you have to be driven and ambitious and knowing what you want.
Exactly. And, a lot of people will tell you, if you want to be successful, you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You need to do this, that, and the other, before it gets light out. I think that's a bunch of bull crap.
You're not agreeing with that, huh?
You don't need to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be successful.
Right.
I on school days, I wake up at 7, and within 10 minutes, I'm out the door to take my kids to school. And I'm usually, I'm driving up to the school in my bathrobe half the time because it's cold outside and that thing's warm. And I'm in my PJs, my hair's a mess, I'm waving to the teacher.
All right now.
Right. Tara's just being herself. I mean, you can't do anything but respect that. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that you have to get up at 5 in the morning to do anything. I mean, I get up early because I go to someone else's job. But yeah, I think that's
time limit.
Right. I think that's
success.
the beauty of it when you're working for yourself, your own business, that you can be more flexible.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking to, like, when my kids get a little older, my younger ones especially. You hear these moms all the time say, "Oh, I don't want them to grow up at all." I'm like, no, grow up a little bit, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Because then, like now I'm like up, on the weekends when my husband's not here, or in the summertime when he's, going to work, I'm, chilling at home. I'm waking up at like 8 o'clock in the morning with these, babies.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they're babies and that's just what they do. They wake up early.
Right.
And I'm just like, man, maybe I would get to sleep until 10.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that, my husband, when he's home, and especially when he's on, leave from work or the weekends, I have to hand it to him because he is the one that gets up early and does all the things in the morning that I don't like doing because I'm not a morning person.
Oh, yes.
He's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what I am anymore because I have worked so many different shifts that my poor little brain is kind of all over the place. I've done the overnight work, and now I'm back to doing the day work, and I'm at work tasking between work and the Chit Chat Chew show, and now we have our soap line up and working on some other things, and it's just like, and then I'm meeting people. It's just kind of the energy that comes to me here recently, I'll say, because there's good and bad vibes. I try my best to kind of stay away, but sometimes, you can't escape it, but it's just all how you deal with it.
Yeah.
But, I've been having some really good feedback with where I work at because we're kind of open, and it's just been good. It's been okay, and we exchange, and of course, we'll definitely follow up, but it's just, I am looking and claiming for 2017 that, we're going to get closer to working for ourselves, where I can get up anytime I feel like it, and
Yes.
and have that robe and socks on, and the breath
comfortably.
right, and the teeth haven't been brushed yet, but nobody knows
You got
because
stank bread.
right. But you're able to do kind of like your own little thing in your bathrobe, and you're good with it.
You good with life.
Right.
Yeah. People, they're like, I sometimes, I'm probably in my local community.
Mm-hmm.
I know that maybe some of the other moms at the school are like, what is wrong with her? Because, they don't realize what I do. A lot of them, they don't really know me
Mm-hmm.
or who I am, and that's okay because I'm not, anyone too special. But, when they talk to me and they, realize what I do for a living, and then they go and they check out my website and they're like, oh, she must be really good at what she does.
Right.
I get the question like, oh, how much do you make? And I'm like, just as much as my husband does working full time. And they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And, it really surprises people that, the lady that drives up to the school with her hair all crazy in a bathrobe, does okay for herself.
Right. Absolutely.
It really... you can't judge a book by its cover at all.
You really can't, because as we've read and we've seen that you have people who are doing pretty good for themselves, millionaires or whatever the case may be, and they're just kind of in some jeans and sneakers, just kind of
exactly.
right, and
not flashy,
and they're not flashy.
Yeah.
And people's perspective of it, like you said, is oh, well, who is she, or who is, what is he doing? And he must not, or he or she must not be doing, anything. But then if they get that opportunity to really, find out who you are, it's like, oh, for real? Really? Like, yes. Yeah. Like, yes, it's me.
Kind of like, I used to live in Leesburg here in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally lived about 10 minutes from Luke Bryan, who's a country singer, from his family.
Mm-hmm.
And when he would visit, I wouldn't pay attention to, like, when he was in town. Like, I really don't care, But we saw him in the grocery store one time, and my husband pointed him out to me and goes, "Hey, look, there's Luke Bryan." And I'm like, so? It's Luke Bryan, like, so what? Like, he's just a person.
Mm-hmm.
He's just shopping for groceries like any other person. Like, leave him alone.
Right.
But I had no idea it was Luke Bryan because, to me, he looked like any other normal guy, down here in South Georgia. When my husband pointed him out to me, I'm like, oh, yeah, that is him. But, let's not bug him because I'm sure this is probably, like, the millionth time he would have been bugged today. Like,
right.
Because he is Luke Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But, he didn't stick out to me. Like, if my husband wouldn't have pointed him out to me in the line,
mm-hmm.
he would have just looked like some random normal dude, just buying groceries.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, I'm not sure. Hopefully, you're comfortable about talking about the other business that I originally met you with through Facebook, and that would be the Poofy Organics, which is wonderful. And I truly do hope that I can get back into the swing of things, because just looking at it then as well as currently, it's like it's really great products, listeners. Honestly, it is.
One of the reasons why I actually signed up with them to sell their product is, honestly, I just wanted a discount. Like, not even kidding you. Their stuff is amazing. And to get a discount on it, I'm like, yes. But
right.
I haven't been doing too much with it lately because I've been so busy with everything else.
Right.
But I decided that 2017 is going to be the year where, like, I start sending my clients, like, random gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And I have already decided that the random gifts will be from Poofy Organics just because they are amazing.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And, I want my clients to take care of themselves, especially, when I free up their social media time and they're like, okay, what do I do now?
Right.
And then like, oh, there's that bath bomb that Tara sent me. I should probably go use it.
Mm-hmm. And so what type of products, for the listeners, what type of products does Poofy Organics have?
Well, we have personal care products like bath bombs and lotions and soap, shampoo, conditioner, that sort of thing. And then they have baby products,
mm-hmm.
which they even have for my breastfeeding moms out there. I am a breastfeeding mom. We're weaning.
Okay.
And so, you get sore, right? They have like this...
they have some amazing stuff.
That, for help with soreness and like chapped nipples and stuff like that, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have stuff for guys. And they have some cleaning products, which rules. Their home cleaning spray
mm-hmm.
will take nail polish, like if it's not dry yet, and you still like red nail polish on your carpet,
okay,
that will take it out. Like, not even kidding you, that cleaning spray has saved me from eating a security deposit.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah. My dog, we have a big German Shepherd, and she has a huge tail, and I was, painting my nails one night, and I was painting them red, and she got excited, and her tail hit the nail polish on the coffee table, and it spilled over onto our white carpet.
Oh, that's ugly.
So, I hurried up and I, wiped as much of the, stuff I could get, with a paper towel up, and then I started spraying it with the cleaning spray and just scrubbing it ferociously. And you cannot even tell where the nail polish was. It was amazing.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
But, I learned I can't do my nails in the living room.
No, that's going to be a no-no, especially after that incident.
Exactly. Exactly. If I paint my nails in the living room, I think my husband will kill me.
Right. Yeah, we can't have that.
Exactly. He's like, at least put a towel down. You make me put a towel down to shine my boots. So.
Wow. He is not having that about that rug. Mm-mm.
Exactly. Well, where we live in military housing, and they're really, like, that's one of the things they are most strict about when you move out is the rugs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think they just do it to collect your money and then just leave the beat rug in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but we've never gotten a really, really great rug moving into a house. So.
Yeah, I'm looking.
They always.
Go ahead. I'm
they
sorry.
always seem to get my money moving out.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I understand that whole world of I'm somewhat of a military brat myself. My dad was in the Marines, and my mother had worked for the Department of Defense with the Army. So I was small. Well, I was small then, so I don't remember a whole lot. But growing up, especially with like my mom, you would have thought that she was in the Army because she just had that.
I guess very strict.
Very strict, very. Like
Strict
when you
mind.
because I'm an only child, but when you made the bed, you were folding the corners. Like it was, it was very. I definitely appreciate it because it taught me a lot of value. And yes, it's a lot of times it is hard to get out of that mentality.
Yes, my oldest son, I drive him crazy with that because over the weekend I asked him to fold the towels for our house, and I have a very specific way that I like my towels to be folded.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And he brings me like this huge stack of like towels are not folded at all the right way. Like they're messy, and I was just with him like, you need to redo that.
Oh yes, I know.
It was like my eyes started twitching and I couldn't take it. I'm like, no, it's showing. Like, go fix it.
Cool. I love it.
I feel bad for them sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
The kids that have to grow up and have parents in the military, and the things we get OCD about. Like, I feel bad.
Right. I get it. I totally get it.
Some of it, like normal kids, like the kids that my kids go to school with are like, wait, your dad got upset about that?
Mm-hmm.
Like my son, my oldest, he's in Civil Air Patrol, and so we're very strict with him about his haircut.
Okay, right.
Because when he goes on Mondays, like he goes through an inspection.
Yes.
So he'll mention like his classmates on a Friday. They'll be like, "Oh, can you come over on Sunday?" He's like, "Yeah, after I get my haircut." And they're like, "What do you need a haircut for? It looks fine." And he's like, "No, it's not fine. I need to get a haircut."
Oh yeah, my daughter used to be in ROTC for the Navy for I know at least 4, probably like 5, maybe 6 years she was through, a program at that time through high school and junior high or middle school, and yeah, everything, shoes, shiny, clothes, hair pulled back, not you know the drill. So it was it was really, really good for her. I know that at one time then she had wanted to pursue it, but unfortunately while she was at like this boot camp type of thing, they found out she had asthma like really bad, so they just she couldn't pursue it. But it has great benefits with it for the kids.
It does. I think that I wish ROTC and programs like that would become more popular, because even if you're not going into the military, if you go and you pay attention for at least one semester, you learn so much about professional appearance, how to conduct yourself, self-respect. It is crazy, the different values it teaches. You wouldn't expect it to teach the things that it does.
Mm-hmm. Right.
My eldest, I see it a lot in him. He's, 13, and he's very, very confident in his abilities. Sometimes too confident. And, it makes me laugh sometimes because he thinks he is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But, I'm not going to tell him differently. He's a good kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it just makes me laugh sometimes, because I know that he is not the greatest video game player, but he thinks he is, so.
Absolutely.
He gets on, those video games with his dad, and they play together, and it's just funny because he'll talk all this smack to my husband, and then my husband, sometimes he'll whoop him just because he talks smack.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll like, hey, Curtis, look all that. And Curtis is just like, whatever, Dad, whatever.
So, now with your, with Poofy Organics, now, with the products that you have, what is your most selling product on your website? Do you even know?
I would say probably the everything salve, because you can pretty much use it for anything. It comes in like this little pot. It's like $15, and we use it a lot here for bug bites, rashes that are mysterious. We don't know what causes them.
Uh-huh.
My daughter, she has an allergy to the strawberry filling in Pop-Tarts.
Mm.
And it makes her break out with eczema.
Oh, wow.
And so we didn't know what was causing it at first. And we went on a trip to see, family, and someone gave her a strawberry Pop-Tart, and she just broke out all over her one side.
Oh, wow.
And I put that on it, and within 48 hours, it was gone.
Oh, wow.
And we use it a lot, too, like for chapped lips. Pretty much anything that, if we have a cut, we use that a lot in our house. We go through a jar of it at least once every 6 months.
Oh, well, that probably was explaining the reason why a lot of people use it. I mean, if it's really, removing and curing things, I mean, just on the skin itself, then, yeah people definitely gonna want to buy that.
Well, and while we were going through, figuring out what it was she was allergic to, she would break out every once in a while. So it was nice to have something on hand that would just nip it in the bud, because we took her originally to the doctor, and I took her first to the ER, and the ER had no idea what she had.
Right.
They were talking about measles, and I'm like, this isn't the measles.
Man, they say anything, man. At the hospital, they don't know everything.
Exactly, and so I'm like, this isn't the measles. Just reading my discharge paperwork, you have wasted my time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went from there. After we had to sit for the test for the measles because they were insistent on it. So I'm like, whatever. Just bring me my discharge paperwork with the results. So we left there, and I took her to her doctor the next day, because her doctor didn't have an appointment that late. It was past 5 p.m. So we go the next morning, and the nurse takes one look at her and goes, that's eczema. And I'm like, praise God, you have at least diagnosed my daughter with something that, is not serious.
Right, because, I mean, even just not knowing what's going on, I mean, that could be nerve-wracking.
It was, I'm looking at her, because I had never seen eczema, as bad as she had it that day. I see, little patches of it, but, not the whole way up and down your body. So, I was, kind of, sketched out about it. I'm like, this is something different. But, to have, a nurse, oh, that's just this common thing that, a lot of kids get. I'm like, thank God. Thank God it's nothing serious.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We started putting the cream on it, I'm like, because I'm like, oh, this has eczema on it, and, if that's what she has, I'm going to try this. And, every time we put it on, or the next time we would go to look at it, it would just be a little bit more clear and a little bit more clear. And like finally, after a couple of days, it was gone.
Oh yeah, that stuff works good then.
Yeah, and you know, like.
And it wasn't no kind
Probably
of,
for
I'm
her,
sure it wasn't no
especially.
chemicals or anything in it, so it was natural, so it worked through the body a lot more,
Exactly.
sufficiently than
You know, a lot
something
of
you
people,
get from
they
the
like
doctor.
to use Vaseline, and I don't understand why, because it's a petroleum byproduct.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, anything that comes from petroleum, I'm like, I don't think I want to put that on my skin. I just don't.
Right,
Um,
because what's contained in it, yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, the Fish Organics, they don't have any petroleum in their products at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes me feel a lot better, you know, since my daughters, you know, especially have sensitive skin, and I do too, I don't have to worry about it, you know, that causing them to break out or, you know, making them somehow sick.
Right.
So, I know we have touched base in previous, as far as Chit Chat Chew show, touching base on the Albany situation that had been and still probably is still going on with the tornado. I would like for you to, talk about that more as well, and how can people still get involved with that?
Well, we had a second set of storms. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
So we had the damage from January 2nd still there, and then we had another set of storms go through on the 5th. And they were really, really terrifying. Well, not the 5th, but the 22nd. I'm looking at my calendar. I'm like, wait, that's not it. That's not the day. But these other storms went through, and they hit a lot closer to our family personally. These storms actually, the tornado actually was an ES3.
Okay.
And it traveled, I believe it was 70 miles. It total it traveled.
Wow.
And it actually hit our base where we live.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, it didn't hit the housing area, you know, where all the families live. It hit the warehouse area where it was a weekend, so there was no one there.
Right. Thank God.
But it also hit a lot of families right outside the base. There was a trailer park that was pretty much leveled. A lot of our neighbors out on the road, when I drove past their houses for the first time to take my kids to school on Tuesday, I cried. Like, literally, like, I cried for these people because just to see all these trees and tarps everywhere, you know, their cars were, like, smashed. Their houses are smashed. You know, they have nothing, some of them. They can't go back to their houses. It was really, really emotional. And even the Monday after, like, we couldn't even leave base because they had all these roads blocked off from trees, you know, trying to clean up, you know, the damages.
Mm-hmm.
But they were telling us, only leave the base if you absolutely have to because of all of this stuff going on.
Right.
And it is really, really crazy to see, you know, when you're driving by, we have like an orchard of pecan trees on our base.
Mm-hmm.
And the tornado went through there, and there's hardly any trees left. And I don't know if the trees that are left, you know, a lot of them have, you know, damaged limbs and stuff like that. And so I don't even know if they're going to be fruitful. So they're going to have to probably replant the whole orchard. And that right there, you know, that's a huge chunk of money for the base because they contracted that out to allow, you know, someone to come in and basically pick the pecans off the trees. Like, someone paid them to do that and had a contract to come out and take those pecans and, you know, sell them. And, you know, now they don't have that.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is.
I think the worst part was there's a 2-year-old boy that's missing, and they never found him.
Oh, man.
Wow.
There's a lot of questions surrounding, you know, his disappearance. Um, he was in a trailer over at the trailer park, is what the news was reporting, but the parents have given different stories.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and his father also has, a history of domestic abuse.
Aww.
And so they're questioning, whether it was the tornado that caused him to go missing or if there's something else going on.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so, that was really, really hard because, either way, there's this, 2-year-old little boy who's not accounted for right now.
Right.
And no one knows what happened to him.
Exactly.
And, as a mom of a 2-year-old child myself, that really, really hurt me,
Absolutely.
knowing that there's this, baby that no one knows what happened to him. And it can't be explained right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
And,
sad.
That's sad. That is.
I do have to say, though, I am very, very impressed with the Albany community
Mm-hmm.
because there's several Facebook groups at this point, but there's one with over 10,000 people in it. And it's basically, it was set up so we could communicate with each other about, the needs of the community and to direct people to where to volunteer, how to volunteer, where to send money or, their items that they don't need anymore, such as clothes or food.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really great to see the community coming together like that.
Mm-hmm.
Samaritan's Purse is still down here from the storm on the 2nd. They came down, I believe it was January 3rd they were here. As soon as, word had broke that there were tornadoes and high winds in the area at the beginning of the month, they were here. And they had been clearing yards of debris and tarping people's houses for free,
Mm-hmm.
along with a lot of other volunteers from, other places. People, one crew had their chainsaws stolen, and Mission Change, which is another group right here in Albany,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually run by LaDonna Urich, and they bought him new chainsaws. They raised money for, his team to buy them new chainsaws. And I just thought that was so great that, even though this horrible thing happened and, someone went and stole his chainsaws while they were tarping, a house, that someone actually, people cared enough to come together and to, replace what was stolen from him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That don't make no sense
And
at all.
I was I wasn't watching, I was reading the news this morning, and I came across another story about these 2 guys that were arrested for looting houses of people, victims of the tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just like, wow, these guys are super low, these people are already hurting, and, they've lost almost everything, and you're going to go in their house and take what they have left? Like, that's
Exactly.
Right, like they ain't got no fucking respect, just no sympathy, no nothing. You just doing stupid stuff. It doesn't make any sense, and people are already going through, just the tornado situation. I'm sure emotionally they're going through a lot, and here you come and want to take from them. They already have everything taken from them as it is. It's crazy.
Yeah, and another thing that people have been doing is they're like going through the communities and like taking pictures of like the houses with the most damage and stuff like that, and they're not offering like hugs or even to help. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you're gonna go through and like document these people's misery, and you're not even gonna help them. Like, offer them some words of encouragement. When I went out into my son's school is one of the neighborhoods that were affected with the storm on January 2nd. And I went through and I took some pictures on foot of some of, the houses and the teams working together. And, when I passed someone who was out, working, I stopped and talked to them. I said, hey, I'm sorry if my presence, bothers you. I'm working on an article. I've been taking pictures of some of the damages. Is there anything that I can do for you, to help you? Because obviously, you need it.
Mm-hmm.
And I helped, a couple of them, just find a place to volunteer. There was a team walking around the neighborhood with their chainsaws, and they're like, we just finished clearing this one yard. are there more yards down that way where you came from? And I'm like, yes, there are, Or, another elderly lady, I directed her to Samaritan's Purse, because she didn't know where to call. And I literally used my phone to, call them and get her name on the list so, they could come and help her clear up her yard. But it's sad to hear that, these people are just rolling through and, just taking pictures of, their houses and not even talking to them. Just like it's a spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so how can people still reach out?
Well, right now there's Samaritan's Purse. If you go to their website, you can donate through there. There's also the Red Cross has been down here helping some of the families. You can donate with them. Or I would also recommend highly Mission Change.
Okay.
They have been out in the community full force, helping everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And they have just been doing such a great job. And Mission Change is actually completely local, as far as I know. It's mostly people from, normal people like you and me from Albany.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just out there helping their neighbors. And I think that is so great and important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I wanted to find out what's next for you. I mean, I know you're doing things, and I know you're doing a lot, and your clientele is building. What are some of your other plans? I mean, you don't have to tell all, but what are some of your other plans or your other, some goals that you hope to accomplish for 2017?
Well, one of the coolest things that I just started, I signed up for Civil Air Patrol myself. And all my paperwork just got, approved and went through. And so I'm going to be working with them and doing, obviously I have to do a lot of training because it's similar to being in the military, except you're a volunteer, so you don't get paid.
Okay.
But my goal with that is to, I'll be working with them in the public affairs sector. And I want to go up and take pictures from aircraft. So
Okay.
I'll be going up and mostly they do it to survey like storm damage and stuff like that, like the aerial shots.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the big goal there. So I'm pretty excited to be working towards that.
That sounds really interesting.
That's what's up.
So do you have I don't want to say do you have a target, like I guess I can kind of say it like that. Do you have a target on how many, like I know we're getting ready to go into February. Is there like a certain number that you're trying to achieve as far as getting new clients, or you're kind of okay where you're at?
So much. My big goal is to typically in a month, I want to make at least half of what my husband makes at his job.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just to help our finances be where they need to be, to have that goal. And obviously, if I do better than that, I do better. If I don't quite reach it, I don't quite reach it. But I've been hitting that number consistently for the past 9 months, which is great. It's been really helping with our finances that I've been, motivated and working hard. But this month, I'm just a little bit under what he makes. And so, I'm really hoping that I can keep growing in that aspect because we do have some debt, from traveling a lot, with the military. They don't pay for everything. A lot of the times, like if we have to fly somewhere with our dogs, they won't pay for your dog to fly. So, we've incurred some expenses, in that aspect of, just things that we need while we're, relocating that they don't typically cover.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice to pay off that and, to kind of start consistently saving so then, when expenses arrive that you're not really expecting, it's not so hard.
Right.
We're finally in the place where, I hit a rock hit my car and I have to replace the windshield, and it's not a horrible thing for our family to go through. Like, I'm not stressed out about, calling tomorrow and setting it up.
Mm-hmm.
And to be at that point, it's just really, really refreshing because, when my husband and I first got married, there were times where, we would move, like we moved into base housing in Pensacola because our lease was up on the other place. And so we're like, well, we're not going to be here, a whole much longer, so we'll just move into base housing because they had, openings. And after we had moved, the remainder of that week, my husband, we actually had to borrow money just for him to, and I to get back and forth to work.
Right.
And to go from that, where you're, borrowing, $40 to fill up your gas tank,
Mm-hmm.
to, $300 to replace the windshield isn't a big deal. Like, it's a big thing for, family.
Absolutely. So what I wanted to find out, how can the listeners find you online? And hopefully they're listening.
You go to TaraGlenn.com, TaraGlenn.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's my website.
Okay.
And there are ways that you can contact me through there. And I'm also on Facebook. If you look up Tara Glenn and you find my photography page should pop up under Tara Glenn Studios. And then there's Tara Glenn Writer and Virtual Assistant, which, I have two separate pages.
Mm-hmm.
So they both pop up. But, once you look at my website and you look for me on Facebook or Instagram, like, you'll know you're in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
Once, the Tara Glens start popping up.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool.
Well, we definitely appreciate you taking your time out to just inform not only myself and Uno, but for the listeners, on just different ways to go about doing things, pursuing their goals, kind of what to look out for and then, stuff like that. We definitely appreciate you so much. I know I do. Yeah, I definitely appreciate
you too, Tara,
mm-hmm.
for being on the
Thank
show.
You.
Yes, and
I had fun, you guys.
I know.
Me too.
And we definitely look forward to following up with you to see how your new goals are going and the other accomplishments that you're gonna have. It's gonna happen, and
Oh yeah.
We can.
Life is definitely an adventure around here. I'll tell you that.
Yes, and our listeners definitely can go on our website as well to follow up to, read up on our guest, including yourself, and so we have all of your contact information if they, want to reach out to you. Yep. So we thank you so much, and we appreciate you for your time. Mm-hmm, because we know that you're a busy mom. So, we will definitely be reaching, following back up with you. You there?
Oh, I'm sorry, cut out.
I'm sorry. No, we were just saying that we will definitely be reaching back out and following up with you on how everything is going with you.
Awesome.
Yes.
I look forward to it. I can't wait.
Yes. So thank you again, Tara.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right now.
And you have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. So for our listeners, we hope that you really was paying careful attention. That was Tara Glenn. She's awesome. And she's a multiple income streamer, as I say.
Multi-talented person.
Yes, multi-talented. Definitely go check her out. She stated where you can find her, as well as you can definitely follow her on our website for more information, and give them our website.
And our website is chitchatchushow.wix.com/chitchatchushow. I'll say it one more time. To go to our official website, visit www. Well, let me take the W out. Excuse me, y'all. It's just chitchatchushow.wix.com/chitchatchushow. You can find guest info. You can find news about us. You can find media and so much more.
Absolutely. So what we getting ready to get into now?
Finna get into some music by some independent artists. We're gonna lead the show out with that.
Okay. Well, if we're going to lead...
But you know what I mean, like go into a segment of music and then come back
Oh,
and end the show.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
But
Okay.
before I go to some music, I have to mention something. Okay, so what we played last week, because I didn't get a chance to say who the artists were because we were so wrapped up in the interview. So what we played last week was, hold on guys, over here multitasking. Okay, so we have Bellevue Tut featuring Solo Foes called The Anthem. We played Bossalina. The song was called Bossavelli featuring Lost Levy. And we played Kato No Mercy. And you can actually find, hold on y'all. Alright, so you can find Bellevue Tut on SoundCloud. Go to I Am Bellevue Tut. You can also find her on Facebook, which is I Am Bellevue. And you can also find her on YouTube, where you can find, hold on y'all, okay. So where you can find Kato Kane, you can find her on Facebook at Kato Kane, which is KATOKANE. You can also find her on Instagram, which is Deontay Rye. I hope I'm saying that right. So I'm going to spell it out. Instagram is DAEUNTE-RAII. You can also find her on SoundCloud, same name, Deontay Rye. You can find her on Reverb Nation, which is G-Wash Entertainment. You can also find her on YouTube. Just go to at Kato Kane. And our last person, let's see. And we got Bossalina, so you can find Bossalina. She has an official website. So go to www.bossalina.com. So Bossalina, BOSSALENA.com. You can also find her on Twitter at Bossalina. You can find her on Facebook at Keon Greedy. So it's KEONGREEDY. You can also find her on Instagram, Bossalina. She has 2 SoundCloud pages that you can check out her music. One is called, you can find her at Bossalina, and then the other one is called you can find her on Bossalina too. So she has a Bossalina, and she has Bossalina too on SoundCloud. So please go follow her and check out her music.
Okay. Sounds like a plan to me.
Said a lot. I could say the other artist's name, but that person's not relevant no more. That's a whole different issue. We're not gonna speak on that.
Yeah, we don't want to hold on to negativity.
Nah, we've been let that go.
So we're going to now play some music, and we hope that you guys enjoy it and just sit back.
All right.
I just can't save them more. Had a real thing for love. I got a real hate for love. It ain't me you looking for. I just can't save them more. I had a real thing for love. I got a real hate for love.
Look at how these niggas always treat you. Fat ass with the voice of an angel. Mono walk to the curves and the ankles. Sneak this to you, the topic of discussion. They just mad cause they ain't you, yeah. 15 units a semester. Got a job, never folded under pressure. Homework on the bench, so I'm fucking on the dresser. Nowhere near perfect, she love my potential. HBIC, yeah, she gon' get my issue. Too much to drink and she text me, I miss you. The hair was so good, it explains while I miss you, goddamn. Feeling like the man right now. Yeah, I've been too and I know it's been a minute. Your ex was a square, I'm the first to admit it. I'm just saying like
I just can't save them, had a real thing for love. I got a real thing for love. It ain't me you looking for. I just can't save them, I had a real thing for love. I got a real thing for love. Patience aggravated on my head like aggravated. Always cussing like a sailor, shipping hard labor. Always talk to get your cake up. I never forget you. All the silly shit you made, but why you fixed on my eyes? Can't you see I ain't high? Might be a little tired. Got no reason to lie. Thinking hope is alive. I feel hope is a lie. Don't fuck with me, I don't mind. It was not in God's design. And besides, you got way too much pride. I'm talking all of the time. I remember the time you loved spending some time. Stop watching all of them vines. I was fucking all the time. You just fussing all the time. Ay. I just can't save them, had a real thing for love. I got a real thing for love. It ain't me you looking for. I just can't save them. I had a real thing for love. I got a real thing for love.
The first time.
So this is the end of the story. So this is the end of the story.
For real. SC2. Let's get. Decisions. Cannot decide without repenting. That's the thing about decisions. Decisions. City to city. We all make decisions. My niggas know what it is. You kicked about your crib. Ain't no point in looking for a job. You the thug of the year. Chicken jacket robbing, bruh, that's all that we know. Only thing about me, I decided to flow. Decisions. McDonald's and prison, they one and the same. They both made for niggas, but I'ma go against it. Label me the opposition. Instead for the taking, I decided to go and get it. Bruh called me up, he know what's sweet lit. In my head I got a job, why the fuck I need a lick? He know I'm steering straight, so I break me off my path.
I'm breaking you all hands.
For real? Pull up, let me grab my ski mask.
I been in with 30.
He came in 20, what a man. The adrenaline rush, got me all mixed up. I'm ready to bust, but I'm feeling disgust. Cause I'm going against my very word, my word is my bond. The chronic ain't working, with this held in my palm. Like you know I ain't no sucker, I'm the first to come and bust you. But ain't no need for this karma, I got some bad coming. You say you my homie, but if you my real homie, you let me sit this out and drive me back to the house.
He said, bro, there's no doubt. Ain't no Anna on my chest.
Soon as I hopped out, I told him to stay, but he left. As I'm writing this here verse, I can only feel the hurt. My only homie on earth left that day, it got murked. Sometimes I feel cursed, but it could have been worse. That could have been me. Decision saved the G.
The first time.
Yo, yeah, we get her done from the 864 to the 904, you know? Ha, ha. What's up? My Cali niggas, they say, what's up? I pull them triggers, we say, what's up? Cali niggas, they say, what's up? We pull them triggers, we say. Yo, Southside where I'm born and raised. And if you're talking bullshit, then it's me on phase. But if you're talking bullshit, don't bring it my way. Cause I got a lot of niggas to pop figures that like to get paid. I don't play around. If you throwing up the wrong set, I'ma knock you out. What you talking about, nigga? What you talking about? Nina on my hip, I'ma let this bitch sing out. What's up? Cali niggas, they say, what's up? We pull them triggers, we say, what's up? Cali niggas, they say, what's up? We pull them triggers, they say.
Nigga, let me tell you how the West Coast go down. Come from out of town, you out of bounds, you hit the Greyhound. You ain't playing with your wrong color, pull the trigger. Automatic action, get the cracking on a whack nigga. I don't know his name, bet you I didn't ask him either. It's a Game of Thrones and my team all winners. We stuff in the gang, all teeth, no chain. West Coast method man, totally insane. So off the brain, it don't matter if it's gray. Clouds of the chronic, take my breath away. And Cali, we got doobies, land of the trees. I smoke so much that my eyes may bleed. West Side Valentine, think I like the sound of that. West Coast mind frame, MD Waves coming back. You don't know the style, cause your niggas moving too slow. Show you what this life about. West Coast, you know.
What's up? Cali niggas, they say, what's up? We pull them triggers, we say, what's up? Cali niggas, they say, what's up? We pull them triggers, they say.
West laced up, vice grip for slip season. Know this, you can get toe tagged for no reason. We stay out there, still in field. We out there. Sharks riding fishbowl, draped out until blue. Something serious, give purpose to the block. All hail to the west like it's the rebirth of pop. Death around the corner, still know to manage. Never take a loss, just reassess the damage. Hot boy, something like horseradish. Even got Hebrews communicating in Spanish. We talks money, diversity the currency. Survival of the fittest, that's a common courtesy. It's martial law, the streets feel the urgency. And certainly, carelessness will get you hit inadvertently. Before coming to the west, know the fuck is set. Better have some act right, moving to the left.
What's up? There is no Cali niggas, they say, what's up? We pull them triggers, we say, what's up? Cali niggas, they say, what's up? We pull them triggers, they say.
There is no torrent like greed.
Okay, so you heard some music. Hope you liked it. Are we gonna say who the artists are?
Yes. So the first artist we played was MK. Hold on, y'all. Multitasking over here. Okay, so the first song was Native Keys. The song was called MKD. The second song we played was Maniac McGee, called Decisions. And you can find his mixtape, actually. He has a project out. You can find it on datpiff.com. So you just put in Maniac McGee, which is MANIAK MACGEE, and he should pop up. And you can also find him on Instagram at 91 Maniac, so 91 MANIAK. And the last song we played was Sunshine, called West Coast. And you can find her on Facebook at Sunshine, so Sun Space Shine, which is actually with two I's, not one I. So it's SUNSHIINE. You can also find her on Snapchat at Shine the Visionary, so SHIINETHA Visionary. And you can also find her on Reverb Nation, Sunshine. That's all together. So SUNSHIINE. So go check out our music.
All right. And as always, if you like to reach out to us and be on our show via phone, or if you're in the Atlanta metro Atlanta area and you want to do a show with us in person, you can reach out to us by going to chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. Again, that's chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. You can find us on social media at Instagram at chitchatchew, Twitter, Periscope at chit_chat_chew, and of course on Facebook you can find us by way of Chit Chat Chew Show LLC. That's one page. Another page, if you're a part of the LGBT community, you can go to Facebook Lotus Monk Biz. And for our group, the radio show itself, you can go to Chit Chat Chew Radio Show. We'll definitely put all the rest of the links up on Facebook. That way you can reach out to us. Our number is included in that.
And also you can find us on Vimeo. So go to Chit Chat Chew Show. So I wanted to plug that in real quick.
Yes, we're at YouTube too at Jade Uno Royale Cotton. So we're definitely we're
everywhere.
We're in a lot of spaces, so we're going to definitely make sure that you guys know where we're at.
Yeah, you can't miss us. So we're going to end this show off with a track, and we'll see you guys
next Monday.
Wow.